Hi everyone, welcome back to the Property Finance Podcast. And again, we're touching on our frequently asked questions. And one of the biggest ones we get is, why would I take a bridge rather than a buy-to-let on a refurb deal? And this one comes up again and again and again. And I see it on social media. I see people giving false information on social media. And really, it's all about setting yourself up in the right way. Because if you want to go and take a buy-to-let mortgage over a refurb deal, so something that you're going to do a fairly substantial refurb to and then probably sell on more than likely, taking buy-to-let mortgages is not setting your business up in the right way. And you are essentially setting yourself up to create issues with lenders moving forward. So when it comes to a refurb, the reason why you can't go on a buy-to-let mortgage, or you shouldn't go on a buy-to-let mortgage, is because most lenders have clauses within their buy-to-let mortgages that you have to have the property tenanted within potentially 90 days, 30 days, 60 days, whatever it may be. They'll have a clause in there that you need a tenant in that property within that time. They'll also have clauses in there that you can't do a certain level of work. They'll also have clauses in there, obviously, about make sure the kitchen and bathroom, etc., don't get taken out of that property. And obviously, if it's a fairly substantial refurb, there's going to come a point where actually, when you do the full rip out of the property, you're actually going to drop the value of that property. Now, the risk you've got, albeit it's only for a very short period of time, but this is something people don't think about. For a very short period of time, you're actually lowering the value of that property. So there actually comes a point where, as far as that buy-to-let lender is concerned, they're actually going to be overexposed. So they're within their buy-to-let mortgage offer, within the documents you sign, there'll be something to say, if you go over 75% loan to value, you then have to inject money into that deal to bring the leverage down. Or they may even say, if it goes over 75% loan to value, that they could potentially then repossess the property, or they could put you into default, or whatever. There could be any number of different things that they could do off the back of it. Obviously, it depends on which lender you go to. But there's going to come a point where, when you've ripped that property apart and it's a bare shell, you're going to have dropped the value. So obviously that minimum loan to value clause is going to potentially come into effect. Now, chances are a buy-to-let lender isn't going to come around and check, and they're not going to be there every single day going, oh, okay, you've dropped the value down by this much, or, oh, you're doing a refurb on this. That being said, that isn't an excuse to use a buy-to-let mortgage instead of a bridging loan. So it's all about using the products for what they are there for. A buy-to-let mortgage is there for a property that you are putting a tenant into, not for a refurb. There are certain lenders who have created buy-to-let products that are there for light refurbs. They are perfect. Use those if you want to use them. But if you're doing heavy refurbs, things like that, use bridging finance, because bridging finance is specifically there to bridge the gap between A and B. So buying a property, refurbing it, refinancing it, selling it, whatever it may be. So when it comes to why would I use a bridge over a buy-to-let? Because that is the product that fits in with what you're trying to do. Unless you are going on to a buy-to-let mortgage that specifically details down that you can do a refurb on that property while on that product, I would definitely recommend avoiding it, because otherwise you could really put yourself into, well, you could essentially build yourself into a corner, because if they find out, you're going to have black marks against you. And lenders talk to each other as well. This is something that people seem to forget. Lenders do actually talk to one another. So if you go and mess about and use a buy-to-let mortgage and then end up, for whatever reason, having the property repossessed or going into default or whatever, as well as it affecting your credit file, you're then also going to run the risk of lenders talking to one another. You then go to another lender to go and get a buy-to-let mortgage. Oh, all of a sudden you've been rejected. They won't tell you why, because obviously they're under no obligation to tell you why. But chances are they've spoken to another lender where you've used a product that you shouldn't have. So when it comes to why a bridge over a buy-to-let, because that's what it's there for. So hopefully that helps. Don't listen to everyone that's on social media, and I'll catch you on the next one.